Hi guys, Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. Welcome back to the second episode of our Football Manager Forum Q&A sessions. If you've not watched the first episode of this question and answer session, the idea is that I'll be taking a look on some Football Manager forums, just finding some commonly asked questions about Football Manager 2015 and potentially other Football Managers games in general, and I'll be doing my best to answer your questions. So in today's episode I've got a couple of questions that I'm going to be answering that I've managed to find on some forums. The first question that I have found is this question here. So how do I find the youth candidates of other teams? This guy has basically put that he's pretty sure there's a page for this somewhere, but he can't find it. What I'll do, I'll just show you how to find this page and where you can locate this. Okay, so to find the youth candidates for other teams, like an easy way of doing this, when you're playing in Football Manager, if you type in a random sort of nation, so if I type in Russia, I have actually just checked this nation just before doing this, just so I can show you guys some really good examples of what to do here. So what you need to do, you can go into any nation. So if you click into Russia, and then what you need to do, you need to click on transfers, which is up here. And then what you need to do, there's a drop down list here. Now what you can do, you can see all the transfers, any transfers that have taken part in the country. So you can see at the bottom here there's an option where it's got youth intake and youth departures. So if I click on youth intake, what you need to do is if you click if you click through the months, you'll see here that February 2015, these are all the new youth intake players that have came through on my particular save file just for all the clubs in Russia. So they haven't exactly had a lot of players come through at the moment, but these players will all be regens. So you can see this guy. I'm obviously not going to know a lot about these kids because they're from Russia and I'm just playing at Oxford at the moment, so I'm not likely to know anything at all about these Russian kids. But you can see this is where you need to go to sort of find all the new youth intake kids that are coming through. And basically what you can do, you can click on any nation. I don't think I'm far enough into this game at the moment. But yeah, for any nation, if you just click on transfers and then go right down to youth intake, and then just kind of like search for all the months, and eventually you'll just see a page like this where you've got all the youth intake players that come through. So that's basically a really good way of finding all the new regens that are coming through for every single nation on Football Manager 2015. Moving on to the second question in today's episode, I managed to find this question. So this guy's playing as Gillingham, and he's basically said he's playing as Gillingham manager, and he said he simply cannot defend on this Football Manager. He said he's played through multiple pre-seasons already and league games with different tactics, coaches, players, etc. And basically he said he's managed to keep one clean sheet in about 35 matches, and he said this is in a friendly against Cambridge. So what I'll do, I'll just go into my Football Manager and I'll just give you 3 really quick tips on how to defend on Football Manager. Okay, so I'm on my Football Manager save file at the moment. Just to show you, at the moment my team has the 6th best defensive record in League 2. Now I've only been playing as this team for 32 games, and just recently quite a few things that I've been doing have been helping us to keep clean sheets. So you can see recently quite a number of clean sheets are starting to crop up, and we're not really conceding that many goals sort of just recently as well. So my top tips for when sort of constructing your defence basically is to make sure that you're picking a lot of the same players all the time. Now I noticed in the comments that you have mentioned that you're swapping your players around a lot of the time. Now just have a real quick think about in real life. The master at defending is someone like Jose Mourinho. So you know exactly what Mourinho is going to be doing all the time for his defence. It's always going to be Azpilicueta, Ivanovic, Terry and Gary Cahill in his defence. Now if you have a look at my sort of appearances for my defenders, so throughout the whole season I've got Luke O'Neill, Johnny Mullins, Jake Wright and a guy called Jonathan Meads playing at left back. Now I've kept this defence really solid. So all these guys have near enough played 30 games for me this whole season, and I've only played 32 games in the league. So my first top tip is to make sure that you're not changing it around too much, just to make sure the players are learning how to play with each other and things like this. So this will really help you. So the next thing to have a look at is the tactics. So good thing to think about if you're really struggling and sort of shipping in a lot of goals. I would definitely recommend putting a person in this position here and just having them as a ball winning midfielder. That's if you're really struggling. Now I'd put him on like the support function. And another really good thing to think about as well. I mean, personally, I like to have my defenders just as limited defenders. So if you have a look at what it says about limited defenders, the main job of the limited defender is to stop the opposing attackers from playing and to clear the ball from danger when required. So basically, they do absolutely nothing but defend. They'll be marking opposition forwards and preventing the ball from getting in the box. Now, I see a lot of people. They'll use like centre backs and things like this. So there's gonna be, it's slightly different. Like I kind of see centre backs as doing a little bit more. So for centre backs, as it says here, he must possess the technique and composure to be able to help the team maintain possession and lay off simple passes to more creative players. Now, I'm obviously playing in League 2, so I don't have any defenders that are, really good tactically or just good with composure and things like that. So the limited defender for me is a really good way of just keeping it simple at the back and just to make sure you're not doing anything silly. Now, another good thing as well, I like to have my fullbacks. I like them as fullbacks just so they do get back a little bit. But if you're really stuck and conceding a lot of goals, a good thing that you can do is just to set your fullbacks as limited fullbacks, just on the defend, sort of strategy. And basically here you'll just be, your full defense will just be defending. And what you can do, obviously, if you just got 4 defenders at the back who are all defending, you can make your attacking lineup really attacking, just to make sure that you are conceding, scoring a lot of goals as well as trying to keep as many clean sheets as you can. So that's my second tip. My third tip is to have a real good think about the team shape. Now, what I will tend to do for mentality, if I'm playing against a really good team, what I will do is go for counter-attack. And so as you can see here, this aims to keep men behind the ball when defending, but to provide quick support to attacking players when the ball is in the final third. So here your team will maintain its defensive shape, and it will look. And if the break looks likely to happen, then everyone will be like bombing forward, and they'll kind of read the game a lot better. In general, though, what I'll do is have it on control. So here the aim is to move the ball around the park and to patiently build up, kind of when chances are going to happen. So the thing with control, I think it's good. If you're on if teams are sort of attacking against you, they will just kind of sit back and it's quite a kind of relaxed sort of style, if you get what I mean, or like a relaxed mentality. Like you're not just bombing forward all the time, which obviously really does keep your structure. And is a good thing to do. And as well with this, I always keep my teams on a structured, like team shape. So I see quite a lot of people with a fluid team shape, and so you can do this obviously. So it'll be just creating a more flowing football with the players to have more creative freedom. Obviously, if you've got more creative freedom, you're likely to be doing more kind of like daring things, if you like. So personally, I always have it unstructured, and you can see here the team is expected to keep its shape and play precise and controlled football, with the players allowed less creative freedom. So basically what you're eliminating is your defenders just doing anything stupid. So they're my 3 tips for just making sure that your defence is as tight as possible. And after a while, or after a few seasons, your defence should start conceding a lot less goals. Obviously it does help having kind of good defenders and things like this, but just make sure that you're keeping a really consistent back line, as Jose Mourinho does in real life. Make sure you're having a real good think about the roles that you're giving your players. So if need be, just have it all as like limited fullbacks and limited defenders, so there's nothing fancy happening. put it on counter-attacking football if you're playing against a better team, or personally I like to have control when when I'm just playing against teams that I'm expected to beat, and try and keep your team shape as structured, and after a while you should see that your team will be conceding a lot less goals. So I've been working on this for quite a while, and as you can see, just recently I've been having quite a few more clean sheets, kind of creeping into my game sort of thing. So I mean, compared to the beginning of this season, you can see I was hardly keeping any clean sheets at all. In fact, I can only actually see one there. We got one against Portsmouth, but for ages and ages we weren't keeping any clean sheets at all. But now you can see they're starting to kind of creep in ever so slowly. I hope that's helped you guys. And basically, I'm going to keep doing these episodes as well. So I hope you're kind of like finding them helpful. If you have got any questions on anything Football Manager related, then please do leave your comments in the comments on YouTube, and I'll be able to answer any questions that people might have. And thanks for watching this episode, guys.